I don't think we can work. Who are you going to find who's as talented as me? Really? Because you think talent is the only thing that's valuable? Allah gave talent to lots of people. You know, there are people that play professional sports, right? And we see them, they're very, very talented. You know, there are just as many talented people sitting in our neighborhood, physically just as able. And they can be amazing athletes. Guess what's the difference? Work. Practice. I'm going to show up. How many kids do you see that the coach says, man, if you work hard, you'll be in the NBA, you'll be in the NFL, you can join Premier Football, and don't do the work. If you have the talent, you don't put it yourself to work, it's not going to go anywhere. The same thing is true now in terms of deen. In terms of deen, Allah is essentially has given each one of us different potential, different strengths, which was true of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in and before them. Even if you study the lives of the prophets, different prophets have different strengths. You know? Even Allah describes, فَضَّلْنَا بَعْضَهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ مِنْهُمْ مَنْ كَلَّمَ اللَّهُ وَرَفَعَ بَعْضَهُمْ دَرَجَاتٍ. Why did He distinguish between them? We give them different preferences, different strengths. Why? Because Allah did not want humanity to be one thing. You know, He says, وَجَعَلَّكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. He made you, they translate this, He made you into nations and tribes. That's not a good translation. Sha'ab in Arabic is a hole in a wall. You know, when a wall is nice and there's some broken part, like in America we don't see that a lot because it's all sheetrock and the imperfections get covered. But if you go to like Pakistan or back home countries where they have like cement walls and actual brick walls, some part of it chips off and falls off, and there's a hole. When you see those imperfections, that's called a sha'ab. Allah calls every nation a sha'ab. Why? Because it's made up of citizens that are together, like a wall, but it's never perfect. No nation is ever perfect. Every nation has some flaw. Just like every human being has some flaw. And He says you have to learn to get to know each other, because what is your weakness is somebody else's strength. And their weakness is your strength. So you will learn from them and they will learn from you. This is why Allah put human beings together. When human beings come together, Musa a.s. is put together with his brother. Why? هُوَ أَفْصَحُ مِنِّي لِسَانًا. He's a better speaker than I am. I have a flaw, but he doesn't have that. He'll strengthen me. I'll be his strength, he'll be my strength. أُشْدُدْ بِهِ أَزْرِي وَأَشْرِكْهُ فِي أَمْرِي. Use him to support me. I need backup, and the best backup is him. So Allah made us dependent on one another. He made us dependent on one another. When you discover yourself, your shakila, you'll also identify in yourself, and I will identify in myself. What am I good at? And also what am I not good at? What do I need help in? So you know the right, and then you'll identify the people who can help you cover those gaps. And as you learn that, then you realize that so long as we are on the road, we are not comparing ourselves to anybody. If Allah made you good at something, how will you serve Allah and His creation using what He gave you? If He made you good at speaking, speak. If He made you good at teaching, teach. If He made you good at writing, write. If He made you good at building, build. If He made you good at engineering, engineer. What is it that He made your mind and your physical ability amazing at? You have to find that in yourself and put it to work. And you don't say to yourself, well, you know, I'm not really good at anything. That's a lie. That's not true. Allah gave everybody a shakila. And He gave everybody a way to get guidance towards Him. He made you good at something. He made you able to do some kind of good. And good doesn't just mean ibadah to Allah. Good means good towards other people. How can you benefit other people in some way? At the very least, how do you benefit people around you? In your family, among your friends. But it grows further than that. If you become more ambitious, you say, how do I benefit society? How do I benefit humanity? How do I do something bigger than myself? But it won't happen if you're not even of benefit to the people closest to you first. Right? So this ayah, I'll start over again. So as we conclude, to wrap everything up, Allah says, tell them everybody should work, or everybody better put themselves to work according to their shakila, according to the road that is uniquely crafted for them, and according to the unique talents and abilities and strengths and weaknesses that were given to them, which are different from everybody else. So they never compare anybody to themselves to anyone else. And they don't say, hey, why do I have this difficult road and this one has an easy road? You're not interested in comparison. That's no longer the case. It doesn't concern you. Their road and what they were given and what they were not given, that's with Allah. And your road is with Allah. And He knows who to give what, according to what, you know. So He says, فَرَبُّكُمْ أَعْلَمُ بِمَنْ هُوَ أَهْدَى. And your Master knows who is more guided, who's more valuable in terms of guidance, and who's closer to guidance as they traverse the path. مَنْ هُوَ أَهْدَى سَبِيلًا. So beautiful this ayah. So profound this ayah. That you start valuing every experience in your life. You start thinking about every one of the things that you've gone through and how that can help craft you as a human being. You know, how is it making you a stronger person? How is it that you learn something from it and you can help somebody else with it? You can be of service to somebody else with it. You know, I keep making reference to Musa alayhi salam because first of all, I'm obsessed with Musa alayhi salam. And because the Quran emphasizes him so much. But something else about him comes to mind as I talk about this. And of course, this is Surat Isra, which is about Banu Israel, which is the nation of Musa alayhi salam. But in any case, Musa alayhi salam, when he ran away and he was in Madian, and you know, he's got very heavy guilt on him because he accidentally killed someone. He didn't intend to, but he did. And he says, Rabbi inni zalamtu nafsi. I've done wrong to myself. He also says, هذا من عمل الشيطان. This is from the work of the devil. I mean, these are his words when this happened. But when he went away, you know, in your head and in my head, when you do a sin, what's the way to fix that sin? You make istighfar, you do ibadah, you do dhikr, you cry to Allah, maybe you go to Hajj. You do these things, meaning you connect more and more to Allah. Look at Musa alayhi salam. He goes and he sits down in Madian. فَلَمَّا وَرَدَ مَاءَ مَدْيَنَ وَجَدَ عَلَيْهِ أُمَّةً مِنَ النَّاسِ يَسْقُونَ And وَجَدَ مِن دُونِهِمْ إِمْرَأَتَيْنِ تَذُودَانِ He saw two girls that are struggling to feed their animals. And you know the story, he goes and he helps them. What's remarkable to me is when he was done helping them and he sat down, تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ, he goes back and sits down in the shade. He says, رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. Master, whatever good opportunity to do good you give me, I could use it. In other words, he is constantly driven to do more good for other people. Not just ibadah to Allah, good towards other people. His previous experience of hurting another human being, he is now compensating for it by helping other human beings. If somebody hurt you in some way, you learn from that and say, I'm going to make sure nobody gets hurt the way I was hurt. And you try to help others who got hurt. You learn from your experience for the benefit of others. That is shakila. That is putting ourselves to work. And so, and why are we so different? And why is it so, why is it that Allah made me the way He made me and He made you the way He made you? We will never know. What is the reality? Our own reality is the biggest mystery. That's our ruh. And Allah says, وَمَا أُوتِيتُ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. That's the next ayah actually. You haven't been given much knowledge at all. What you have been given is you can recognize your shakila. You can recognize what you're good at, a self-assessment. Really thinking about yourself and what is it that you're going to accomplish in your life. I know I was going to conclude, but I'll share one quick thing because Isha is almost upon us. Or Isha, we just prayed, but rather, I'm still in the old time. But 5 minutes in. If you lose sight of your purpose, if you lose sight of the purpose, the shakila Allah gave you, I want you to think of it this way. Food, drink, happiness, peace, safety. These are things we want in life. Everybody wants to feel peace. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to feel secure, etc., etc. These are feelings that people run after. So why do they want to buy a car? I want to buy a new car, it'll make me happy. I want to get a house, it'll make me feel safer. I want to feel safer. These are some feelings we run after. This tama'nina, this sense of calm and peace. Let me tell you, that's not our goal. Our goal is to fulfill a purpose. My goal in life is not to feel better. My goal in life is to accomplish something. The peace and the tranquility and the happiness and all of those things are only there so you get strong enough to fulfill your purpose. But they're not your purpose. You have to do work in life. قُلْ كُلٌّ يَعْمَلُ عَلَى شَاكِلَتِهِ. And when you fulfill your purpose, you'll actually truly find peace. Let me put that in simple English and I'm done. In simple, no tafsir literature, no abstracts. You have someone who Allah gave a talent to that they're very good at, let's just say, counseling. Right? They should go to school and pursue a degree in counseling. They should become licensed in becoming a counselor. And they know that when this talent that they have, everybody goes to school and gets the same degree, but some people, Allah gave them an ability that when they talk to people, people really feel healed. People feel different when they speak to them, right? And Allah has given them that. When Allah has given them that purpose, and when they put themselves to work in that purpose, they're going to feel a calm and a peace and a happiness and a satisfaction that no matter what clothes they buy, no matter what car they buy, no matter what food they eat, they're not going to feel it. And that same person who does this work and they fulfill this purpose, now they start making a lot of money. And when they make a lot of money, they say, I don't have to do this work now. I can just enjoy my life. And they start busying themselves with vacations and enjoying themselves and eating good food and living a luxurious life and all of these other things. And guess what's missing in their life now? They're no longer happy. They have all these things around them, but they're not happy anymore. You know why? Because purpose is missing. If your life is missing purpose, everything else will have no meaning. Everything else around you will just lose meaning. And if you have purpose, you don't have to have anything else. You'll still be happy. Everything else will become secondary. It is only when people don't have purpose, then they compete for things. When they lose purpose, then they compete for things. Then they compete for clothes. Then they compete for house. Then they compete for car. Then they compete for money. Then they compete for showing off. Who had a bigger Eid party? Who had a bigger aqiqah for their baby? Who had a bigger wedding ceremony? That obsession, all of that's there when purpose is missing. When purpose is there, all of these things come and they make you happy. They give you some fuel, but you're never comparing yourself. You're never competing. The only competition left is, am I taking another step? Am I still on the road? Am I still making progress? That's all. That's the only concern I have. Nothing else matters. So we have to become people of purpose. We have to become people that don't get petty, don't lose sight. Because when that happens, we've lost everything. By the way, what does purpose mean? Purpose means you're on a road, right? That you haven't accomplished. But when you have stuff, you're like, oh, well, now I already have it. Then it's just about the next item and the next item and the next item. That's all it is now. One TV show to the next, one outfit to the next, one pair of shoes to the next, one gadget, one toy to the next. That's all. Oh, I can't wait till the new iPhone comes out. Why not? What purpose do you have? What are you missing in your life that you can't wait? I can't wait till the next season of this show comes out. I'm dying. Why are you dying? Because your life is seriously missing something. You're already dead. It means you're already dead. Because that shouldn't be, and something else should preoccupy you. You can get entertained. That's okay. But that's not why you exist. That's not your goal. And when you see people like that, when they're dressed in the outfits and waiting for the next thing to come out, and die-hard worshipping fans of sports teams painting their faces and and fighting out after a match and all of that. You know what that tells you? That tells you how far humanity can get away from purpose. How far they can get away from purpose. Allah did not make human beings for that purpose. He did not. This is the tragedy of the human being. And that's what's described on your own time. Just contemplate the ayah before this one. This is ayah number 84, ayah number 83. وَإِذَا أَنْعَمْنَا عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ أَعْرَضَ وَنَأَى بِجَانِبِهِ وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ كَانَ يَئُوسًا. When good happens, really happy. When bad happens, really upset. What kind of people get really happy when good happens and really upset when bad happens? People whose goal was happiness. People whose goal was stuff. When they lose stuff, they get upset. When they get stuff, they get happy. But people who have purpose, things come and things go. It's okay, I still have my purpose, I'm still fine. I still have my mission, I'm still going. And the moment shaitan will come, he'll try to steal your purpose from you. He'll rob you of your purpose. Any chance he gets, he wants to take it away from you. He can make you lazy, he can make you forget, he can make you distracted, he can bring others and say, hey, that's not your purpose. And others come and say, no, you don't deserve to have this purpose. Other people should have this purpose, not you. He'll make you get off of it any way that he can, and you have to just push all that out and stay on track. If you and I can stay on track, then we've accomplished something remarkable in this life. May Allah Azza wa Jal keep us, positioned on the path, on our own journey, with purpose, and may Allah Azza wa Jal help us become a support for one another. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.